Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas weather.
Boy, we've been enjoying some great weather, and we know it's not going to last, but tonight will be very pleasant, mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 60. Another fairly comfortable day tomorrow on Friday with lots of sunshine, high temperature in the middle 80s, and tolerable humidity. Then over the weekend, we get back to business as usual as the humidity starts to come back, and highs in the upper 80s and spotty scattered showers and thunderstorms at random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Trustworthy, accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
It's happy hour, come gather round. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl. It's time for a smoke break. David Johnson, Monday and Thursday. On happy hour. Master Thespian Steals Tuesday Spotlight. On happy hour. Eddie Duck on Friday with some snacks. On happy hour. While the whole world swirls, hanging out in the chat will change your world. On happy hour. On happy hour.
And welcome to Happy Hour. It is 8 minutes after 3 o'clock.
Bye,
Thanks, Joey. I'll help you with your dating tomorrow. We got an action-packed show today. David Blackman at 3:30 and a tour of the Idiocracy. But this morning we got to interview Senator Tuberville, and I'm going to play some of that for you now because he said he's got a plan. He's got a plan. I'm going to let you listen and figure it out for yourself, and then we'll be back at the end. All right, we welcome Senator Tommy Tuberville. How you doing, Coach?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good, trying to get ready for this long 14, 15-hour voting session we have today to try to fund DHS. The Democrats decided they don't like law enforcement, so
Yeah.
we'll do it ourselves.
You know what? And every day I see another story somewhere. How many people have to be killed before we get rid of the people that are killing them who don't belong here? They would still be alive if ICE was allowed to do their job. Nothing infuriates me more than that. That is just outrageous.
Killed, raped,
Yeah.
robbed. I mean, it's a disaster, and the Democrats put up with it, Greg. It's just unfortunate. That's what they want this country to turn into, a third world country, and I'll be damned if we're going to let it happen.
And we appreciate that. Senator, first of all, congratulations on that narrow victory in the primary a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
How do you expect the Democrats to attack you moving forward? With anything of substance or just the usual?
Well, just the usual. They have no plan, Greg. They have nothing to go by.
Yeah.
They're for open borders, no law enforcement, higher taxes, transgenders in sports. They're for nothing that this country was made of. But what are they going to come after me at? I'm a racist.
Oh,
That's what. Yeah. You forgot that, didn't you?
jeez,
That's what
slipped
they
my
fall
mind.
back on.
You know what?
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to that anymore. They're just not. It doesn't work. By the way,
So, Senator, we knew that night about your numbers.
yes.
But there was an election over in California a couple of days ago. Do you know what the percentage of votes that have been counted is? It's like 58% right now.
Yeah, 2 days, 58% of the votes counted in California. They're trying to steal another one out there, aren't they?
Oh, they will steal it. I mean, somebody asked me yesterday, said, man, wasn't it great that this Stephen Platt was 4 points within being ahead of this communist Karen Bass?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, they got 29 more days to count votes. There's no way he's going to win this or even get close. They'll have the number 3 lady will move in front of him, and he won't even make the runoff. It's a total disaster.
Yeah,
and California is a prime example, Greg.
Yes.
Prime example of how they want this country run.
Let me take that to the SAVE Act. Your colleague, John Thune, who has 28% approval in his home state, did he learn anything from the trouncing that John Cornyn got in Texas? Why can't they bring themselves to pass the SAVE Act?
Well, first of all, John Thune gave John Cornyn, $40-50 million, hard-earned, raised money.
Yeah.
For some reason. Never get involved in a primary, okay? I don't care if you're an incumbent. Why would you do that? And number two is the SAVE Act is dead on arrival because we have at least five Republican rhino senators that hate Donald Trump. They hate him. And they might as well be Democrats because they don't vote with us for anything. And we're very concerned. I'm going to be honest with you. We have to have 51 votes today just from Republicans to get this DHS funding passed. I got concerns. I've got concerns that we'll have a tough time getting 50 votes to pass this with just Republicans. That's how stupid this place is.
I feel your pain and frustration, sir. You know, you get a difficult time from some of the media because you're not a career politician like them. Same thing with Spencer Pratt and Hilton and others. They don't want them to win. They want the political class to prevail forever. And I have to tell you, first of all, tell me a little bit about the Help Committee and what you're doing to crack down on student aid fraud.
Oh, my God. Hey, we got fraud in healthcare. We've got fraud in the VA. We've got fraud in all over the country. We lose $1 trillion. 25% of the money that American taxpayers send up here is stolen. Okay?
Yes.
It's ridiculous. And nobody raises an eyebrow about it. And so there's as much money stolen in education fraud as any of these. You know, Pell Grants, loans that these kids sign up for, they never intend to pay them back. Money going to illegals. I mean, it's just one thing after another. And again, let's do something about it. And so that's what we're trying to do. And thank goodness for President Trump, because I'm telling you, if he hadn't got elected, this fraud would still be rampant. And it is bad, but at least we're trying to catch it. Doge, J.D. Vance is on top of it. We're trying to work through the educational realm of trying to cut a lot of it out. We did cut some out in the big, beautiful bill, but the American taxpayers, they deserve much better than what's going on up here. And it's as much fault of some of the Republicans than it is the Democrats.
Yes. Senator, many people along that very line, I was going to ask you to put a number on how much of our tax money is wasted every year. You said $1 trillion, and it may even be higher than that for all we know. But fellows like Tom Moore and Mark Cumby, we've asked our listeners to ask you questions this morning, and they're very focused on you becoming governor and bringing accountability not only to the state of Alabama, but to the city of Montgomery in particular. And ideas like eliminating can we follow Florida's lead? Consider eliminating the state sales tax or bringing down taxes in general, property taxes and things like that. Please let us know what you think about that.
Oh, 100%. The American taxpayers need a break. If we've got room to have this much fraud in the country, we've got that much room to drop down taxes and state taxes and federal taxes. And so I'm all on board with that. We're working at least 3 or 4 hours a day putting together a plan for all that when we become governor and take over in January next year. We're not just sitting around twiddling our thumbs and talking about racism. We're actually looking at infrastructure, education, law enforcement, Montgomery, law enforcement, clean your streets up, all the things that we need to do to build and grow the state of Alabama. You have to have a plan, and we're putting that plan together. Ask this goofball on this socialist communist on the Democratic supposedly side of what his plan is. Oh, it's racism. Okay, good. Good. Where we go from there?
You know what was racist? The Voting Act law that was abused by Democrats for the last 50 years to guarantee certain election results. The Supreme Court has tossed that now. And are the Republicans going to be able to capitalize on that? Because even with all the angst over the war in Iran and gas prices, they're coming down quickly. Can they keep the majorities, because it just terrifies me to think what the Democrats will be up to if they get a majority on either side.
Oh, it's scary. It really is scary. We saw it for 4 years under Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. They stole the country blind, folks. They stole you blind. And the Democrats are so stupid on the other side. The people voting for these people can't understand it. What's happened to our country? Because you have people running the country that are for themselves and not for the country. And so we have to make sure that we do the right things, get the right people in place. We will win the House and the Senate next year. This gerrymandering that they did all over the country was insane. We should have a huge majority. There's a lot more Republicans in this country, and if everybody voted, you wouldn't hear about a Democrat for a long, long time. We got to get people out to vote, folks. You got to take it for what it is. You vote people that are going to try to help this country and help this state. Don't sit back at home and say, well, my vote doesn't count. It does count.
Absolutely does. And we need that enthusiasm out there. I see President Trump's approval numbers are down right now. I think a lot of that is just people reacting to higher gas prices and the stresses of that. What's going to happen in Iran? What are you hearing on the inside there?
Yeah, well, it's a hard job. 47 years, they have basically attacked our country from terrorist organizations all over the world.
Yeah.
President Trump's doing the right thing. He's trying to make our world safe. He's not getting any help out of these communist socialists in Europe now. They've gone the other way, the direction of the so-called Democratic Party. President Trump's got a hard job, but I'm going to tell you what, he's exactly what we need. He's not going to take a bad deal. I don't think we can ever get a regime change, so to speak, because these people are crooks, they're thieves, and they have a knife to the throat of the Iranian people over there. But at the end of the day, we have got to make sure they don't get a dirty bomb or a nuclear bomb, because they are stupid and crazy enough to use it. They hate people that are Christians, and they're going to come after us with everything they've got if we don't get rid of this nuclear waste that they have right now in terms of being able to make a bomb.
Yes, and Canada's been kicked down the road for half a century now.
Oh my God!
One of our listeners, Rebecca, wants to know if elected governor, would you work with Retirement Systems of Alabama to protect the retirement security of Alabama teachers, state employees, law enforcement, and first responders?
Oh, sure would. I'm in that retirement system. So
it's been going on for years, and I hope that when you're running the state, we're going to miss you in D.C., but that there will continue to be serious efforts to trim the fat. $1 trillion a year wasted.
Well, not just federal, also state. Accountants are coming. When I come in there, I'm going to make sure that I know where the money has been going for the last 25 years, because you got to evaluate everything you're doing. You don't just go in there and just start spending money. Right. Okay, what did we spend here? What did we spend it on? Where'd it go? Was it successful? I mean, you don't just start and go forward. You go backwards, and you find out what worked, what didn't work, and what it's going to take to help the people of the state of Alabama. It's called a plan, organization. Ask the Democrat, and they ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
Senator, last few seconds here, please. Anything that you wanted to add or tell our listeners in advance of Election Day?
Well, the big thing is we just talked about a plan. It takes good people. We're going to hire a lot of people. But we'll have that plan put together long before even we're elected in November. Again, we started on it 6, 7, 8 months ago. We're talking to people everywhere. We're trying to get advice. I'm talking to governors all over the country, what works, what doesn't work. Talking to DeSantis, talking to the Mississippi governor, Tennessee governor, Bill Lee, governor from Texas. You don't do it on your own. A coach is somebody that runs an offense and defense that if they see a player defense work, you take that and you perfect it yourself. We'll do the same thing. We will perfect things that if people have worked in other states. Now, we're not the same as other states, but we got a lot in common. And so overall picture of what are we going to do when we take over, we are going to grow the state. To grow the state means manufacturing it, but we have to have workforce. We have to have energy to do it. We have to have plenty of water. And we need to do that to make sure we keep our kids in the state, to build our families and build our base. And again, nobody's going to take care of Alabama and the federal government. We're going to have to do it ourselves, and that's what we plan to do.
I understand you're going to be in the state for ribbon cutting tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Coast Guard, man, what a big deal that is. People don't understand. It's like moving the Naval Academy or the Air Force Academy to Alabama. This is a Coast Guard Academy. We're moving it to Birmingham Southern. We'll cut the ribbon tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock Central Time, and it will be a great day for the city of Birmingham, and we're going to make sure that it's taken care of. President Trump was good enough to give it to us. We worked on it for about a year and a half. Perfect situation. Birmingham Southern had financial troubles. The federal government buys it out. Going to put money in it, and it will bring billions of dollars over the next 50, 60, 70 years to the state of Alabama.
Excellent. Senator, speaking of theft, I always steal an extra minute or two of the time we have with you, so I apologize for running a little bit over, but thank you again, and we'll look forward to conversing with you a little further down the road.
All right. God bless. Have a good summer. Thank you.
You too, sir.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
It is the big broadcast happy hour on Thursday. News Talk 93.1 of MWACD. Me and David Blackman starting at 3:30 as we explore the idiocracy. Hope you can stay with us.
And here they are.
Well, they will be here shortly. I think the two main things that came out of the interview with Senator today were his determination to make every effort to eliminate the state income tax, lower sales taxes, focus on waste, come in and doge the crap of not only the state government, but I believe he has the problem. He says he's bringing the accountants. So they're going to be looking for waste everywhere they can find it so that they can make it a little bit easier for us. That's a plan. That's a plan. That's going to bring out some voter enthusiasm. That and the fact that he's well aware of the complaints coming out of Montgomery and some of the other blue cities on safety issues. This guy is not going to tolerate any of that. It's just not happening. So it's always fun to get a sneak preview of what we can expect in November. And have they finished counting in California? No, they're still trying to figure out how to screw Spencer Pratt and Steve Hilton. And if that's allowed to stand, that's an obscenity, an absolute obscenity. Trump said he's going to do, I don't know what he can do, but somebody has to do something. All right, as we get ready for David Blackman, guys, if the early summer weather is starting to fatigue you a little bit, your sleep is disrupted, you're gaining weight when the weather gets warmer, that's usually not how the way that works. Montgomery Men's Health might be a place you want to call, 334-440-3663, and get that low T test. Because if your testosterone level is low, it's going to explain a lot of what's going on with your body. The low ebb energy, the low libido, whatever you're dealing with, it's all connected to a proper T level. This is a medical facility, not a house of witchcraft or any. It's all science and all medicine, and it's run by a board-certified urologist who bring real solutions to the table for what I just described, not to mention ED and other problems that guys can encounter. You can help guys who are concerned with size. There are state-of-the-art, FDA-approved technologies available there that you don't hear about or see advertised on TV, but they do have them. Again, 334-440-3663 or MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. That's Montgomery Men's Health. Hope to have David on the other side of this.
We have an overturned vehicle, Day Street at Hill Street. Now, if you're on Day headed up to I-85 northbound, you're going to be rerouted onto Hill. If you're exiting 85 southbound at Day, it's that first red light as you get off the interchange. Your lane is open, but one lane traffic there as they try to clear that intersection. Taylor Road in front of Applebee's near Vaughn Road, we have an accident with injury there. Please watch out for emergency vehicles. Couple other minor accidents not causing much of a problem. We will keep you updated. Davis Door and Sash has quality replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on materials by mentioning this ad. Visit davisdorandSashAlabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Attorneys for Ibrahim Yazid, the Montgomery man convicted of killing Anaya Blanchard, have filed a motion asking for a new trial. Earlier this year, Yazid faced the death penalty in Blanchard's death, but was sentenced to 2 life sentences. Anaya Blanchard was just 19 years old when she disappeared from an Auburn gas station in 2019. Her body was found a month later in the woods of Macon County. A Montgomery man is under arrest after an alleged contraband smuggling attempt at Ventress Correctional Facility. Former inmate Antoine Demetrius Blue was found in the perimeter area around the facility just after midnight on Monday. Blue was wearing a backpack containing about 2.5 pounds of marijuana and 16 cell phones. He was detained without incident. Current soccer world champion Argentina will take on Iceland next week at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. The match leading up to the World Cup in North America will be played on Tuesday, June 9th. This will be the first international soccer game ever played at historic Jordan-Hare Stadium. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Del Reyna and online at budgetfloorsmgm.com.
The Dow finished up 870-something points today. That's pretty impressive. Why it happened, what's behind it, that'll all be shared with us by Brett McDonald from Invista Advisors around 5:15 this afternoon. 387-0094 if you'd like to make an appointment and get some good counseling on your financial future. No pressure. Everybody that's with them, including me, is there because they want to be. 387-0094.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Poarch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Poarch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at PoarchCreekIndians.org.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. 5 reasons to get a home inspection before you close on a home. Homeowners buying their first home or their 10th home still need a home inspection performed. First, you will find out firsthand the true condition of the home, the age and state of the heating and air, the roof, electrical, and plumbing as of the date of inspection. Second, it may give you the ability to renegotiate repairs that the seller will end up paying for before closing. Third, if the results show that the repairs would be too costly, then you can opt out of the contract without losing your earnest money. Fourth, the age and state of the systems will indicate what shape the rest of the house might be in and give you the option to opt out of the transaction or renegotiate terms. Fifth, knowing what needs to be done to the house will allow you the opportunity to update the home properly to your taste. For a list of the best home inspectors in the area, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 334-221-2883 or 551-0225. The Goodson Group.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to schedule your spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give them a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 88007.
Rich Thomas weather.
Boy, we've been enjoying some great weather, and we know it's not going to last, but tonight will be very pleasant, mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 60. Another fairly comfortable day tomorrow on Friday with lots of sunshine, high temperature in the middle 80s, and tolerable humidity. Then over the weekend, we get back to business as usual as the humidity starts to come back with highs in the upper 80s and spotty scattered showers and thunderstorms at random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome to the world of Idiocracy with Greg, Pamela, and experts, especially David Blackman, talking about all the latest mess. Get it off your chest and tune to the best. The tales of Idiocracy. Of Idiocracy. The tales of Idiocracy. The tales of Idiocracy.
And now at 3:32 Central Time, we go to somewhere in Texas, Dallas and vicinity, to visit with the man with the 10-gallon brain. Political blogger extraordinaire, oil and gas industry expert, Dodger fan, David Blackman.
Hey. Yeehaw, y'all.
You're making me nervous there for a while because it's okay. It's okay. We're good. At the beginning of the show, we got to interview Tommy Tuberville for about 15 minutes this morning, and this guy, he's well ahead of the curve. He's not going to show up on Inauguration Day and say, "Well, let's see what we can do here."
Right.
He says, "I've got the accountants lined up. We are going to root out fraud. We are going to try and get rid of the state income tax. It's small, but it's still an income tax, property taxes, and more." Wants to doge the hell out of the state to make it run efficiently. And I'll tell you, he is very serious about all this. And they hate him because I was just going to say, the media hates him because he's not of the political class.
Right.
Like Donald Trump and Steve Hilton and others, they want to help the country. And they don't like people that come from the outside. I asked him about his comrade, John Thune, with his 28% approval there in South Dakota. So what is it that's so difficult that they can't bring themselves to vote for the SAVE Act? Everybody wants it except them. And I'll tell you what, if you listen to the interview, it'll be on the podcast later. You should, only because you can tell his frustration with Washington is like boiling over. He just does not like being in that cesspool of corruption.
Yeah.
And he includes a lot of Republicans in that list as well. So
yeah, unfortunately, that's exactly right. And nobody knows how to hit the ground running like a good college football coach.
Yeah.
And he was one of the good ones.
He was. And I asked him, I said, what's more stressful, being a college football coach at a school like Auburn, where football means everything to a lot of people, or being in the United States Senate? And he easily picked college football coach. But I think he is one of many probably over the years who worked to get elected to Congress, the Senate, or in the House, and got there and found out that there's not a whole lot of room for idealism. And dealing with the lunatics is very discouraging.
Very discouraging. Yeah, I can't even imagine trying to function in that environment right now.
I don't know if your ears were burning this morning, but we were sharing from your blog about the steal going on in California. We asked Tuberville about that. Is he aware that as of this morning, they've managed to count a whole 58% of the votes in California? And he says, yeah, they're stealing it like they do everything else. And what's the latest on that? Has Spencer Pratt been kicked to third place?
No. He's still, right now, he's still in second place, almost 9% of the vote ahead of Nithya Raman, the third place finisher, the
socialist.
communist.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's with 58% of the vote counted, another 42% to come in, all mail-in ballots. See, California is so ridiculous. They don't have anybody even start counting the mail-in ballots until the day after Election Day, which is incredibly stupid and needless. And
who do they think they're?
You know, right. And so, but it's all for the intent of doing exactly what's happening now, creating more time and space to figure out exactly how many fake ballots they have to invent and find in boxes mysteriously found in broom closets or trunks of cars or whatever they're going to claim, to get Nithya Raman into second place and eliminate Pratt and try to eliminate Steve Hilton statewide. And, you know, whether they're going to be able to do it or not, I don't know. But we've talked about this before Election Day. I said, you know, he's got to be a minimum 5 percentage points ahead of the third place finisher to have any hope of surviving the post-election fraud operation. And so far, a guy I know out in California says that the ballots that are being counted so far break down 38% in favor of the current mayor. What the hell's her name?
Bass.
Karen Bass. 32% in favor of Raman, who only managed to get 20% of the election day vote. Somehow she's getting 32% of the mail-in ballots.
Oh.
And Spencer Pratt, who got 29% of the election day vote, is only getting 19% of the mail-in ballots.
Is that so?
And we're supposed to believe this is all normal and natural and perfectly legitimate. You know, we're all supposed to just sit here like a bunch of idiots and think, oh, gee, you know, that's just the way people vote in California. Well, it's nonsense. They're stealing the election. They do this every cycle in multiple races. And it's not just the governor and mayor. There's several congressional seats that are close.
Yes.
That, you know, and so, you know, they're going to try to steal half a dozen races, and they will probably succeed, unfortunately. I don't think they're going to be able to get Hilton, but I'm afraid they may well get Pratt.
Has Trump not said something about this? Does he have any resources to go in and put an end to this crap?
Sure. I mean, we've talked about this, the infamous Box 13 election in 1948 that got Lyndon Johnson, that stolen election by Lyndon Johnson got him into the Senate. The FBI was already in Texas investigating that before Box 13 was supposedly found in the courthouse in Jim Wells County, with 210 absentee ballots mysteriously all cast in alphabetical order, recorded in alphabetical order in the same handwriting, and all but 2 of them were for Lyndon Johnson, and in a county that, you know, it's in a Democratic primary. And so it would have been an evenly split if it was legitimate. Anyway, but the FBI was already down in Texas, had been for several days. This was a week after Election Day when they finally concluded it. And the FBI had been down there investigating all the fraud going on, not just in Jim Wells County, but all over the state for 3 or 4 days before that happened. So, yes, the federal government has every authority to go in there, the Department of Justice, the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and begin even confiscating the ballots. And they've done this in the past. And I think President Trump needs to go into Los Angeles and the U.S. Marshal Service in there and confiscate the ballots and confiscate the voting machines, lock them down, and perform a real, true forensic audit of this election and how those Smartmatic machines function. Because they're using Smartmatic equipment. Yes. And so that's what he needs to do, and he'll take hell from the press, but I don't care. This has to be stopped.
Yes.
And this is probably the last chance for him to actually do that in California, because 2028, he's a lame duck, and, you know, he's just going to be coasting to the end. I just wish he would do it today. Call him in, send him out there, and just lock everything down.
maybe we'll hear something by the end of the show because I agree he's got to act quickly.
Yeah.
Those percentages, how convenient. Somebody probably already did the math and figured out what percentages
Yes.
they'd have to get in the absentee ballots
Yes.
or the mail-in ballots to make it, wow.
Right. If you do the math, the Secretary of State's office is saying there's around 300 ballots left to be counted. If you break it down, and I did the calculations myself, and these percentages stay the same for the last 300 ballots, Nithya Raman would beat Spencer Pratt by about 3,000 votes.
Oh, what a choice.
So yes, they counted it. They know what they have to steal.
I heard a nickname for the Karen Bass voters, bassholes. They want more of this. They want, wow. And she's leading too. Yeah, I guess it's a hit out there. We have a call. If you're going to call us this afternoon, you're welcome to do that at 272-9228 and 334. We do not have a call screener this afternoon, so let's take it at random. Who's this?
Hey, Greg, I'm glad you took me in. I just want to say on the Save America Act.
Yes.
Every time I look at the votes in Congress on this act, it just shows plain and simple that the Democrats do not want to have American citizens voting. They want other people voting.
Oh, they want both. They want their and what other country does that? Nobody. Thank you for the call.
Nobody. Yeah.
It is 3:42. Hey, the Democrats have spent so much time calling Trump and conservatives Nazis. Apparently, they've changed their mind and they continue to embrace this guy Plattner who wants to run against Susan Collins. What's different about his version of Nazism, and what's coming out now? I mean, every day it seems like there's more stuff on this guy.
Yeah.
Who? What do we have today?
Well, the New York Times, just a few minutes before I came in, broke a story, and I haven't had a chance to go through it in detail, but the headline is that multiple women are now accusing Plattner of abuse in their relationships with him. This guy really attracts women. He's had a lot of different girlfriends, and they found at least 3, according to what I've read so far, who are accusing him of abuse. I don't know if it's sexual battery, but battery, assault, and to the extent that at least one had called 911. And so this is just the latest of I don't know how many scandals now. He's got the Nazi tattoo that was actually a death camp tattoo that was worn by the guards in the death camps during the Holocaust. He had that on his chest for 18 years before he decided to have it scrubbed before he filed for election in October of last year. He's a wild, crazy guy. He spent 7 years with an account on an app called Kick, which is an app that's well known to be a facilitator of human trafficking and pedophilia. Percent of whose registered members were juveniles between the ages of 13 and 17 until just a couple of years ago when they began requiring age verification. And yet Plattner held an account and was active on the app for years on this app. And there's only one reason for a grown man to be active on that app. He claims he was trying to find women to date, grown women, of age women, but there's 100 different apps that are probably more suitable for that purpose for an adult male.
He hasn't heard of Neil Clark Warren and eHarmony and all that wonderful.
Right. Yeah. With Tinder and what, I don't know what others are called, but there's got to be a bunch of them. But he's hanging out on this specific app, and maybe it's all innocent, but I'd say the odds that it's all innocent are pretty extraordinarily high. He's against it being all innocent. So this battery thing with these women is just the next thing to drop from the DNC. I think this is all being orchestrated by the Democrats to force him out of the race, just like they did with Eric Swalwell. All these leaks are coming from Democrats. All this damaging information is coming from Democrats and former campaign staff. And this is being orchestrated by the party to get him to drop his campaign before the second Tuesday in July, which is the deadline. After which they would have 2 weeks to pick a candidate of the party's choice to replace him by the fourth Monday. Did I say Tuesday? I meant Monday. Second Monday is the deadline for him to get out. Fourth Monday is the deadline for the party to replace him in July. So that's what's going on here. And if this New York Times story doesn't force him out, then they'll drop the next shoe and the next one and the next one. Apparently, there's a pretty much endless stream of additional things to come about Plattner.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And we've seen the Democrats do this time after time after time.
Yeah. And it continues to go on time after time after time, and nobody seems to be there's like this general sense of impotency. Well, that's the system. That's the way they roll. But this thing in California is very disturbing. And
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Pratt ran a campaign that got tons of national attention. He had people rooting for him all over the country. He's not from the political class. He's a Donald Trump type. I want to get it done. I'm not going to try and fit any mold of politician that you previously know. And that still resonates.
Yeah. One last thing on that. I think if they do steal this from Plattner, from Pratt, Spencer Pratt, and knock him down into third place with this, what is clearly a fraud operation. Everyone knows it's a fraud operation. I think it's a real strategic mistake on the Democrat Party's part to do that, because Pratt, there's a lot of money people in Hollywood and the tech industry who have been giving to Democrats out there strictly because they think it's strategically smart, not because they're committed Democrats. And many, many of these people have been supporting Spencer Pratt in this race.
Yeah.
And they would gladly go right back to giving money to the Democrats if they believe this election is legitimate. But if the Democrats force Pratt out here in what is clearly a fraud operation, I think they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars from these money people in Hollywood and the tech industry and other industries. And people are just going to say, screw this party, screw this state. I'm leaving. I'm done with you people. And so I think they'd better think twice, even though they know what the math is. And, some cooler head in that party had better take a step back and really think about what the ramifications are going to be for the party going forward if they do this.
And there is enough time and enough votes left to be counted to even put Steve Hilton out of the race?
Well, it's harder with Hilton because it's statewide. Los Angeles Democrats have about a 6-to-1 registration margin over Republicans in the city of Los Angeles.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah. Statewide, the edge is only 2-to-1. So, and Hilton's lead over Tom Steyer, who's in third place, Hilton finished first with 29, Steyer's down 18. So he's got a bigger lead than Pratt does. So it's a much bigger lift to force Hilton down into third place. They might be able to move him to second place with this, but I don't think they can get Hilton. I think they're going to have to, let this be a real race in November. But, but even then, okay, you get to November and he's running against one Democrat, and the Democrat's going to probably get 65% of the vote because that's just how it breaks down. But even if he gets 51%, they're just going to steal it from him. Okay. So he would have to get like 60% to have a hope of actually winning the election the way the fraud operation works.
If the Democrats invested nearly as much time into actually solving problems, making the cities and states better as they do into cheating and perfecting the system, might not be such a bad option. But God, it's just so in your face. And that's something about it that I can't stand either. And it's discouraging. Hey, one of our favorite people, John Bolton, pled guilty today, much to the chagrin. He's facing jail time, I guess, and a $2 million fine.
Well, he's facing a $2 million fine, up to $2 million. It doesn't look like he's going to end up with jail time. So what that means is they'll hit him with a big fine, and he'll be on MSNBC the next night.
Yeah.
Because, they have no standards.
They'll open a GoFundMe. They'll replace the money.
Yeah.
But when he was first charged, this is all politics. But obviously, there's something there if he pled guilty. Obviously. So.
And he's taking a plea arrangement, right? So there's a lot more charges than this one felony count.
Let's hope they continue to find people they can charge crimes too. I can't stand the guy, and I was glad to see that. And of course, all the lefties, when he was first charged, they were just up in arms over this great American. Being harassed by the Donald Trump administration. And that was the feel-good story of the day.
Yeah.
That and some of the other stuff. I think we're going to hold it to the top of the hour, but we got some great clips we can play because Marco Rubio, you don't want to cross him, and Scott Bessent's a superstar too. That hearing with what's his name? Was it, the guy that was, I don't even remember what the hearing was about, but he starts right in. I don't want to talk to a capo from the most corrupt administration in American history.
That was Ron Wyden.
From
Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't his father an Oregon senator for a long time? He looks like death.
Oh, Wyden's been in office since the late 90s. So he's been there 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he just crawled out of a casket before they put the makeup on for the viewing. I mean, he just. Oh,
you're probably thinking about his son. He's got a son that's in Oregon politics. He's in.
Oh, is that the one that was with Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, he's somehow implicated with Epstein. Yeah. So,
if you haven't heard the clip, stay tuned because we're going to have that for you after the top of the hour. In fact, I think we'll go into the top of the hour now and come out a little bit earlier if that's okay.
Okay. Good.
Because I don't want to stop in the middle of a great topic and have to hit the pause button. So we'll do that. In the meantime, if you would like to subscribe, today's blog was a classic. Rich and I went through it on the morning show today.
I had fun with that one, yeah.
And Rich really got angry because he's seeing many people are just not aware of how ridiculous and how out in your face this counting system is.
Yeah.
60, I think it was 56% they had counted this morning. 2 days later, in the tech capital of the world, right? we haven't figured out the vote counting thing yet, but we're working on it,
Yeah.
So he was like, this is crazy. He even brought it up to Senator Tuberville. And there's a couple of moments from that I want to share with you as well, or get your take on it. Subscribe to David's blog by visiting davidblackman.substack.com, davidblackman.substack.com. for the latest on energy news. By the way, gas here, $3.47.
45 where I filled up yesterday in Texas. So, yeah, it's getting down there. That's good.
Yeah, let's hope the trend continues because that's going to take a lot of heat off Trump. And
it already is. You can see it happening in the polls already. Yeah.
Oh, see, when those last Fox, always doom and gloom. Trump poll numbers crater. Well, I think that what other way do people have to say, hey, I'm not happy about, and it's not even that they knew gas prices would go up. They were prepared for that, thinking short term, but it's been longer than that, and that's where the frustration is.
Right.
Nobody wants Iran to have a nuke because the gas prices are high, because you can't drive anywhere if you're sitting in the middle of a smoldering ruin from a nuclear attack. So we got to figure it out. David, thank you. We will be back with you in less than 10. All right, at 3:55 on News Talk 93.1 FM planning a summertime trip, maybe something around the 4th. Why not consider getting your car into Don Duncan sooner than later and get the pre-trip check that they do for vehicles. They very thorough bumper-to-bumper look at anything that could go bad. They may find nothing, but it's nice to know when you leave town that everything that can be done has been done in terms of prepping your car for a drive. That includes the tires, the fluids, the wiper blades, everything. They give you a complete checkup on the vehicle, and if you need something, they have everything you need for your car right there to get it fixed in 4 locations to provide you top-notch customer service, including high atop Mount Duncan, handsome young Mitch Duncan up there, serving folks. That's the big hill behind the McDonald's at Highway 14. Also in Millbrook on Cruzada. You also find Don Duncan Hallmark Auto and Tire downtown at 408 Madison. And Doug Mitchell and his great team, Bell Road, just north of Vaughan. Look for Don Duncan on Facebook and join the VIP club and earn yourself a free service. Right now, up to the traffic dungeon, Skipper at 357.
Authorities still dealing with an accident, Day Street and Hill Street, and they have lanes open there now. That intersection was blocked earlier. Still some emergency units on the scene there when you're exiting 85 southbound down to that first red light. That's Day at Hill. Also accidents, Taylor Road in front of Applebee's right before Vaughan. There were some injuries involved there. And Troy Highway at Virginia Loop had a minor accident there. Busy all over. Keep it here for updates. Imagine graduating high school with your college degree already in your hand. That's the power of early college at Trenton State Community College. No debt, no delay, just a college degree. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up, Wendell Trey Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
I'm Stephanie Bryan, chairwoman of the Porch Creek Indians. Tourism and hospitality are more than industries to the Porch Creek Indians. Providing a warm welcome is part of our heritage. It's central to who we are. From Atmore to Aruba, we've created more than 20 unique travel and tourism destinations, providing unforgettable guest experiences and life-changing career opportunities for our tribe and our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
And this is a painting of my grandfather, the only one he ever had made.
Sometime, take a close look around your house.
This sewing machine was my Aunt Mary's.
If you have possessions that are irreplaceable, consider this. Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Are our possessions safe? To know for sure, call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of CurrentSafe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Using high-tech equipment, Crosby Electric will check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to pinpoint potential problems and make sure your things are safe.
Oh, my daughter's second grade art project. I'd die if something happened to this.
Some things can't be replaced by insurance. Don't wait another day. Call 272-2085 for an in-home no-obligation assessment or visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe. Know it's safe.
Now you'll be safe with CurrentSafe.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I've rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
It's June 4th, the greatest day ever. On the 4th of June, 1919, Congress passed the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Women could now count themselves among the 42.5% of Americans who don't bother to vote at all. Have a great June 4th, the greatest day ever.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Ken Normand in Washington. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton has agreed to plead guilty to a single count of retaining classified information under a deal with the Justice Department that could allow him to avoid prison time. Senate Republicans have cleared a first hurdle as they try to pass legislation to fund President Trump's immigration enforcement agencies. They rejected a Democrat effort to permanently block Mr. Trump from creating a nearly $1.8 billion settlement fund for victims of lawfare during the Biden administration. Republicans still face a gauntlet of Democratic amendments before the bill can advance. On Wall Street, mixed day, but a good day overall. Dow gained 875 points, S&P up 31. This is SRN News.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use
The
as
Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Boy, we've been enjoying some great weather, and we know it's not going to last, but tonight will be very pleasant, mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 60. Another fairly comfortable day tomorrow on Friday with lots of sunshine, high temperature in the middle 80s, and tolerable humidity. Then over the weekend, we get back to business as usual as the humidity starts to come back, with highs in the upper 80s and spotty scattered showers and thunderstorms at random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Life's a beach with an ASE loan financing the fun you deserve. It's your summer, your way. ASE has the funds. Apply online or at any of our 9 locations.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
Federally insured by NCUA.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, "Get help." A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
You can't control interest rates. You can't control housing inventory.
And you definitely can't control what the national news decides to panic about this week. But here's what you can control. You control your timing. You decide when it's the right time to buy, when it makes sense to refinance, and when to tap into your equity to renovate, invest, or consolidate debt and free up monthly cash flow. Real estate decisions aren't one size fits all, and they shouldn't be driven by headlines or social media noise. They should be based on your goals, your finances, and your life. The smartest moves happen when you focus on what you can control and work with someone who helps you see the full picture. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Feeling the pinch on your food budget? You're not alone, but saving is easy every day at Food Outlet, Montgomery, Prattville, and Millbrook. And remember, Food Outlet is priced at cost, plus just 10%. Listen to these specials good through June the 9th. Lean and meaty center cut pork chops, $2.28 a pound. Take home a 10-pound bag of leg quarters for only $6.50. The 1-pound package of Ziegler Red Hots, only $4.95. 24-pack cans of Coke products, $10.79. The 16.3-ounce jar Skippy Peanut Butter, $2.49. The 100-count Totino Pizza Rolls, only $8.97. And great for the hot weather, a half-gallon size Bluebell ice cream, only $5.82. Food Outlet is locally owned. When you shop here, more of your money stays right here in our community. Your Food Outlet stores open 7 days a week, 7 till 9. Check us out on Facebook for more great specials. Food Outlet in Eastbrook Shopping Center, Montgomery, Prattville at 720 East Main, and in Millbrook at 3543 Highway 14. Shop Food Outlet and pay cost plus 10%.
7 back with David in a moment.
Authorities still dealing with an accident, Day Street and Hill Street, and they have lanes open there now. That intersection was blocked earlier. Still some emergency units on the scene there when you're exiting 85 southbound down to that first red light. That's Day at Hill. Also accidents, Taylor Road in front of Applebee's right before Vaughn. There were some injuries involved there. And Troy Highway at Virginia Loop had a minor accident there. Busy all over. Keep it here for updates. Imagine graduating high school with your college degree already in your hand. That's the power of early college at Trenton State Community College. No debt, no delay, just a college degree. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up when Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
I know David has one of these. I wonder if he's aware.
Today is Hug Your Cat Day. But don't just hug your cat. Let Mr. Whiskers know you appreciate all he does. Like glare at you from on top of a bookshelf, fillet your new leather couch, spray your laundry, push the door open when you're on the toilet, attack the TV when he sees race cars, lay a dead rodent at your feet, wake you up at 3 a.m. with the zoomies, kill your fish, and of course, randomly disappear for weeks at a time. Your cat. A friend for life. Okay, most of the time.
Some of that true, Dave. Oh, there's the cat. I keep
there he is.
I keep forgetting the name.
My boy Max.
Max.
Yeah, Max. Okay.
What a handsome fellow. I'd have to run into the ravine behind the building to produce a cat here on this end. Next year on this day, we'll do, I'll bring in Calliope. A quick note, congratulations to our friend Tom Moore. You know Tom from the Monday Show, David.
Yeah.
Veteran and businessman, and he'd be a great mayor, maybe the next host of the show, who knows. But his coin shop, Trademark Coins and Currency, voted best in Alabama for 2026. Way to go, Tom. Not
awesome.
Surprised. As we wage war against those who are trying to perpetuate the idiocracy, we have a couple of warriors, David, that we really need to take a moment and listen to their brilliance when it comes to dealing with the real idiots. Here's Marco Rubio. I think this is from yesterday. He's so good and looking very presidential.
Americans in
why is she leaving? I'm going to answer her questions.
I will.
Oh, she's going. Okay, I got it. Well, thank you for coming.
All right, so we're going to talk about, I just want to,
Unfortunately,
Transparency about where the
Representative
money
time has
is
expired.
going.
Representative Salazar is recognized.
yes.
And giving contracts with no transparency
Can I
is
borrow your
exactly
time
the
to
reason
answer?
why you shut down USAID. So practice what you preach. I yield my
Oh, she gets to scream now too? Scream
Chairman,
and
can we
shout.
take down her words?
I'll give you some time. I'll give
Yeah.
you some of my time. Let me just,
Okay.
just
Oh God,
change
what
the
kind of thing
energy.
is this? What is this? You get asked questions for 5 minutes and you don't get time to answer. It's not a hearing.
I think you said clown
Like
show
a dunk
before.
tank.
I
What
don't,
is
I don't
this?
have to tell you. I don't, I'll
I've
give
even
you
used their time. How can I answer the question? They don't even give me time. I've had to use their time to answer your questions.
Yes.
All right, whatever.
All right, so I don't need to tell you that in my community, the city that I represent, the city of Miami, you're one of the most illustrious representatives, and that we're very proud of you, not only the Cuban Americans, but the Hispanic Americans in my
Why is she
community.
leaving? I'm
So
going to answer her questions.
Yes, and rumor is that Marco Rubio used to listen to my morning show when his mommy was taking him to school in the car. So he learned to feed the master. And then Scott Bessent, man, just laying waste to that cretin that Wyden in the committee hearing yesterday. Do we have volume for this? Is it working? Yes. Okay. Let's do this one.
Let's be clear here. Nobody is interested in the ramblings of a capo in the most corrupt regime in American history. We want to get some facts about this deal. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and I will ask my questions first today. And we would like to hear what Adam Wyden and Jeffrey Epstein talked about. Your son's largest investment position was Rick's Cabaret. So did your son and Jeffrey Epstein talk about pole dancing as he begged him for money using your limited credibility?
And if Wyden didn't look like he just crawled out of a casket before they put the makeup on to attend this thing, he sure did after. So we've got some good fighters on our side.
Yeah, I've got the echo thing.
And I am getting rid of it.
Yeah,
just
I've
like
had
that.
to meet with Wyden on several occasions. He's
Oh, really?
He is not a pleasant. There is a. Well, I think anyone who's met with him will confirm this. There's an odor about him that is unpleasant, and I'll just leave it at that.
He looks like somebody who would be in possession of an unpleasant odor. He really does. I mean, in this hearing, he looked like he was already in rigor mortis for a while.
Yeah, he's not looking well. He's had some health issues in recent years. And he's probably, my gosh, he's got to be close to 80 now. He's not a young man.
And neither is Leslie Stahl. Who have you not been amazed at the infantile comportment of Scott Pelley?
Oh, it's Babylon Bee does a story today. The headline is CBS begins search for new pompous blowhard with a picture of Scott Pelley.
Really?
It shames me to admit that guy grew up in Texas. That dude is a Texas native, just like Dan Rather, just like Walter Cronkite. A lot of Texas people have been at CBS News. And he's the most pompous, arrogant ass I've ever seen in my life. He's Ted Knight. He's Ted Knight, Ted Baxter.
That's
from the Mary
perfect.
Tyler Moore Show.
Yeah.
In real life.
It's true. There's and it's not like he has, at least, I mean, when you mention some of those other names like Cronkite, for better or worse, usually worse, rather, those guys have achieved some level of legendary status. Rather, prior, later in the career, that's when the truth started to come out about him and some of the crap he was up to. But and everybody thinks Cronkite was the most trustworthy man. That's too bad that they thought Walter Cronkite was the most trustworthy man in America. He certainly was not.
He certainly was not.
But what about Leslie Stahl? Is she going to be able to weather this storm at CBS?
Well, that's the rumor. Is she and Bill Whitaker are the next two to go. She's been at CBS News since the first term of Richard Nixon, 1971, 55 years. And she's still on the air. I have a mother-in-law, God bless her, sweet, wonderful lady. She and her husband live in a senior living center. And my father-in-law's 92. My mother-in-law's 84, just like Leslie Stahl.
Wow.
And Leslie Stahl is older than probably 80% of the residents in that senior living home. Okay. And I don't begrudge her being vital and still able to do what she does. But she's part of the big problem at 60 Minutes. Pelly was a bigger part, but she's part of it too. These people are incredibly arrogant, entitled, spoiled children. And they believe that they are entitled to those jobs for life. Walter Cronkite retired when he was 65. You know why? Because CBS News had a mandatory 65-year retirement age. That's why Walter Cronkite left that job in 1980. If he was around today, he'd say, look, I'm going to hang on this damn thing another 20 years. Bill Whitaker's just 71. He's a child compared to Leslie Stahl. You know, he's a different generation entirely. But he's been there since 1984. You know,
So
how
obviously,
long do these people get to hold these jobs?
did CBS lift the voluntary or the retirement age voluntarily, or is that something ordered by?
You know, most
court case?
corporations had those in place back then in the 70s and into the 80s. But in the 80s and 90s, as baby boomers began to, you know, start to age and, you know, start to approach retirement age, this enormous generation of Americans, much bigger than any other generation before or since, these corporations all decided, look, we're going to need to keep this generation of people employed for longer. And so they began to, you know, most of them lifted those mandatory retirement ages. And so CBS was one of those. And it's a shame. You know, Walter Cronkite was not the most trustworthy man in the world, but he was a damn sight better than Dan Rather. And he could have easily done that job another 10 years. He wasn't really showing real signs of any advanced age at the age of 65. And it would have been far better to have him in that chair than Rather.
Oh, I see that you included another Scott Bessent clip. I want to check that out, but I have
that
to
was
ask.
the same one, I think. That was the same one, and I think it was the same one you played.
The one that didn't know about Roosevelt, who was president during.
Oh, that's right. No, that's right. I sent you that one. Yes.
I'm going to put that bad
Woodrow
button
Wilson.
down. I want to hear this because this is who we have in Congress.
Recently, President Trump proudly claimed that he doesn't think about Americans' financial situation when it comes to the war with Iran.
By the way, this is highly annoying Representative Judy Chu.
Ask you, Secretary Bessent, do you agree with President Trump that you also do not care about Americans' financial situations?
What a bitch.
Congresswoman, who was the president during World War I?
Can you,
No, but
are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm asking, who was the president during World War I?
You don't know.
I don't know, but clearly you
You don't know. Oh my God!
are
You
not
don't know who the
answering my
president during
question.
World War I was. Well, let me
So
tell you.
I'm clearly getting the idea that you do not want to answer whether you agree
I'm
with President
happy-
Trump that
Oh God! I hate these people. I hate her.
It's just echo. It's a
gone.
clown show. The Republicans, while they're in majority, really need to impose new rules of decorum in their hearings. These hearings are a complete waste of time for the administration officials. They should boycott them from now on after this, because the Democrats don't even ask questions that are germane to the hearing.
No, it's like Rubio said. What is this for?
Right. Yeah. It's
Why am I here?
Why are you here? They should all, I believe, and I really truly believe this, that the Trump cabinet officials should all send letters to all the chairmen of committees and ranking members in Congress and say, we are no longer going to participate in congressional hearings unless rules for decorum are written to require questions and answers opportunities to answer questions and that the questions be germane to the topic of the hearing. Otherwise, there's no point in having the hearing.
I agree.
Democrats never ask a question that's germane to the purpose of the hearing anymore. So why have them? Why honor? And when the Democrats, if they take majorities, in the House, then these hearings are just going to be total waste of time, because it's just going to be war. Well, why do that? You're just wasting these people's time. You're just wasting time.
Well, rule number one in the Libtardian book of behavior is ask a question, then talk over the answer if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. But this woman, I don't know, was president. That points to the monumental failure of the education system, too.
Yeah.
What are they teaching?
If you remember last month, they had a hearing in the House. The purple-headed lady from Delaware.
Oh,
who's
God.
like 82 years old, has been
Yes.
there forever. And Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator, starts
Yes.
telling her, why they rescinded the endangerment finding. And he starts, asking her, well, do you understand what the Clean Air Act says about this or that? And she had no idea
No.
what the law or regulation said. Well, that was the topic of the hearing, was the Clean Air Act.
Right.
And she had no clue about any of it. Well, what are we doing? Who are we putting in Congress? It's just insane.
Well, the one good thing that came out of that hearing with Zeldin was that we found out who Elvira's mother was. I had not known. I had not known until that time.
Oh, God.
It's 4:22. Wow, time is flying. It always does when David Blackman is on with us. During the break, there was a quick story about one of Plattner's girlfriends who was asked about the Auschwitz tattoo that he used to have. And apparently she used to call him my little Totenkopf.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And one of the women the New York Times talked to, it quotes in this story, says, Plattner has denied he knew what that tattoo was, what that symbol meant.
Sure.
But at least one of the half dozen women, it's half a dozen, I've read some during the break. One of them says he knew full well what that tattoo was. He used to talk about it all the time.
Mhm.
Obviously he knew what it was, or he wouldn't have gotten it. Right. And so all the lies this guy tells about himself are falling completely apart. And it's Democrats doing all these leaks. It's not Republicans. This is Democrats doing all this.
I love the AI photo in your blog today with Plattner standing there, shirt topless, with a totally clean chest, and the women kneeling behind him. It really is.
Yeah.
And as you say many, many times, you couldn't make these people up in a million billion years, and why would you if you could? I need to ask a question from the inside of Texas about this track murder trial.
Yeah. Oh, it's so tragic.
It really is. Now, wasn't there something introduced in that trial today, a video or something that really showed the?
I don't know. I haven't been able to keep up with it today, unfortunately.
Again, I'm astonished. There seemed to be no reason for this kid to kill the other.
No.
But now they've turned it into a big racial deal,
of course,
which shows how much progress we haven't made. It's a life and a life, and one guy took the others without any reasonable suspicion of threat. Just killed him.
No,
and then ran
unfortunately,
off.
this kid killed an athlete who was an honor student, one of the most popular students in the school. He was going to be a college football player. He had already had scholarship offers.
Yeah.
Really tremendous young man, and for no real reason, just killed him. And of course, the family starts a GoFundMe account, raises $600,000. They buy a new house, a couple of new cars with the money. They're calling it a legal defense fund, but of course, that's what they do with the money. And then the biggest race hustler in North Texas, a lawyer, volunteers to be their be the kid's defense lawyer. And so he's turned it into a Johnny Cochran style racial case. Well, I guess it's racial. The kid who did the killing was black and the victim was white. And the black kid obviously hated the white kid. So I guess it's racial, but it's not what the lawyer is out to be, right? And it's an open and shut deal if they stick to the facts, but who knows what's going to happen in a trial anymore.
They're always looking for another way to divide. This should not be a racial case. It's a case about somebody that should be off the street, obviously has a temper, and if he doesn't get his way, he's ready to murder for it. I don't get to give David Blackman a choice very often, but I know you're probably itching to end this so you can get in line for the September release of Jill Biden's book, because that's going to be a big one.
Oh my God.
Has anybody, again, what is she thinking with all this backpedaling and, I told Joe he did such a good job. And then today, I thought he was having a stroke. She's clearly another liar, and she's getting picked apart. I think there seems to be a concerted effort from the legacy media to make the Bidens go away because they're a bad memory.
Well, they're a bad memory, and they're he's extremely unpopular ex-president, one of the most unpopular, one of the least popular ex-presidents other than Nixon in recent decades, because he was an awful president. He was horrible. His administration did more damage to this country than any four-year administration in its history. And, history is not going to remember Joe Biden well as a senator or as a president or as a human being.
Yeah.
She's trying to make money because old Joe can't make money anymore. He's been the family's gravy train all these years. Same reason Hunter Biden's, started his podcast and he's all over social media now. And, he's trying to find ways to make money too. Nobody's buying his paintings anymore because his father can't peddle influence to him anymore. Right.
That's hilarious.
So it's just, this is a family of grifters, and her book is another grift. And she knows if it doesn't sell, X number of copies, it won't go to a second printing. And so she's putting all this BS in the book to try to increase sales. And that's what that game is. It's why I've never gone about trying to write a book, because I understand what you have to do to get a book published and the kinds of things you have to be willing to say to make them sell. And I'm not going to do that.
By the way, you really hit rock bottom, Jill, when you've got Stephen A. Smith trashing you from one end of the day to the other. I wouldn't be bragging about that. Biden's net favorable rating -19. You know what everybody needs to remember? Because if you're lucky enough to talk to people who actually studied American history, which seems to be a diminishing group, based on that congresswoman who couldn't tell us who was the president during World War I. I mean, it was Garfield, right? No.
Yeah.
But Harry Truman, when he left office at the end of his second term, his approval was 23.
Yeah.
Yet, every time they rate the presidents, he ends up, in the top 10 or 15. Why? Because he was a politician for many years, but he really spoke his mind. He made it. If he made it, didn't make all the greatest decisions, but if he made one, he stuck by it. The buck stops here. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. All of that good stuff. But he was immensely unpopular when he left office, yet history has remembered him in a much more kind way. I guess it depends on who's got control of the context of the history.
Depends on who writes the history, right? Yeah. I mean, it took a long time. It's taking a long time for Reagan to get his proper due. There's been a couple of really good books about him, but, historians still take a negative view of him. But ultimately, I don't think, who knows, because they're all Democrats. All the historians are Democrats, except for H.W. Brands at the University of Texas. And so they don't like Republicans, and they're not going to write anything good about Republicans. And that's a shame because we've had one great president in my lifetime. Well, two now, but the first was Reagan, the second is Trump. Nixon's a close third. And Kennedy might have ended up being that way had he lived.
Yes.
Otherwise, we've had a bunch of dogs, in that office, and it just hasn't been a good time for the U.S. presidency in my lifetime.
As David gets ready to line up to buy Jill Biden's book, we have one more break. We're going to take it now. Is that okay, sir?
Oh, sure.
And we still have plenty left to chew on as we continue our second tour of the never-ending American Idiocracy here on News Talk 93.1 FM. You might want to we'll be back in a few minutes, take the time to go subscribe to David's blog. You'll find it at David Blackman, one word, davidblackman.substack.com. And for the latest on energy news, which has been an important thing lately, Blackman at substack.com. I get those correct? Good.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back with David in just a moment. By the way, the broadcast is brought to you by Delkin Tomlinson, attorneys at law. You'll see their name scrolling across the bottom of the screen on our YouTube feed. Happy Hour with Greg Vidal. We sure do appreciate them, and they're the go-to team if you have yourself or somebody you know, a loved one who's in a family crisis of some kind, divorce, somebody coming back from the past, somebody who's tried to flip the table and turn their life inside out. Turn it over to two women who will not entertain any of that nonsense and be the best possible advocate for the person that needs the help, whether it's you or a loved one. Reach out for a consultation at 819-4810, 819-4810. Explore the entire scope of all of the services offered at Delk and Tomlinson by visiting this web address, thealabamafamilylawyers.com, for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
The representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
At 4:32, we've got traffic at 1819 News. Next.
Well, most of our earlier accidents have cleared or in the process of clearing. We do have one now on Mulberry Street near I-85, and traffic busy building around the area. We're seeing a lot of cars out on the road. Busy reports out of Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. We will keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can save up to $6,000 off Pathfinders, up to $5,000 on Rogues. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
The chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, Scott Stadhagen, says that the election chaos is now over after a ruling came out earlier this week from the U.S. Supreme Court. Stadhagen was on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile, commending Republicans here in the state for staying engaged in what was going on in this congressional map battle. He also urged Republicans to get more involved in primary voting, and especially in the special primary election that's coming up in August.
Well, no doubt Republicans can do a whole lot better in their participation at the ballot box. We saw, numbers dropping that a little bit. We are going to really hammer out the message of how important it is for Republicans to show up and vote. I don't think it caused confusion for the most part. It could have caused mass confusion a lot more than it did. I think ultimately the citizens are paying attention. Now, we've got dates set in place. We've got the runoff June 16th. We've got August 11th. We've got this primary. And then August 12th, we will officially have our Republican team, and then we will be preparing and getting ready.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
The city of Foley has been given a state grant of $3 million. The money will be used for a new 121-acre property, which is going to become the county's new industrial site. That industrial site will be located on the Foley Beach Expressway. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
PSC Equipment and Farm Supply in Raymer always has the best sales, and David's at it again with the Tag It and Take It sale. Saturday, June 13th, load up those trades and bring them with you to the one-day-only mega event. PSC will offer special one-day clearance prices on tons of new and used equipment and implements. Mini excavators as low as $49.95. Mini skid steers starting at $39.95. Quality utility trailers from $17.95. Good Guys cattle trailers starting at just $79.95. And those popular 500 series poly fertilizer spreaders with the stainless steel spinners on sale for $7.99. Tractors, trailers, equipment, attachments, even warehouse products like seed, lime, and fertilizer will have a Tag It and Take It price. The Choo-Choo Food Truck will feed you, Tony Mills will sing for you, and David Steeless. One day only, Saturday, June 13th, PSC Equipment and Farm Supply, 21704 Troy Highway, Raymer, right near Sykes & Kahn.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar. We're located over here on the beautiful Alabama River. We got a fryer, a steamer, and a grill. That means we can cook up that seafood any way you like it. We also got a good old hamburger, a good old steak. We got something for everybody. Check it all out at capitaloysterbar.com or go to our Facebook page. You can see everything goes on down here on the river. We're really the only restaurant on the river in Montgomery, so that makes us the fanciest restaurant in Montgomery on the river. You can come down here fancy or you can come down here regular. You're going to have a good time. We also rent out pontoon boats. All you need is a driver's license, a credit card, a little common sense, and you can have a good time on the river. We got an RV park down here. We got room for you to come stay for a little while. Then all you got to do is walk over here. You can walk down here and throw you a pole in the river and catch you some dinner. Well, maybe come over to the restaurant and get you some good fish. Well, let's see you soon. There's no show this Sunday, so that means we'll be here to cook for you all Sunday afternoon with no cover charge. See you soon. Come hungry. Bring the whole family, y'all.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Boy, we've been enjoying some great weather, and we know it's not going to last, but tonight will be very pleasant, mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 60. Another fairly comfortable day tomorrow on Friday with lots of sunshine, high temperature in the middle 80s, and tolerable humidity. Then over the weekend, we get back to business as usual as the humidity starts to come back with highs in the upper 80s and spotty scattered showers and thunderstorms at random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Next up, our tour of the Idiocracy takes us to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for a kindergarten graduation.
It's terrible. I can't believe that that's something that would happen. I don't know why you would fight at a kindergarten graduation.
Because you're endangering not only my children, but the other children that are in the room as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the second one. Major brawl at a kindergarten graduation.
Good grief. Oh,
it just goes on and on and on. By the way, interesting thing, just saw that the FBI is now going to announce a top 10 fraudster list in addition to the most wanted for other things. That's kind of cool.
Good.
Yes. And
maybe they can apply it to voter fraud.
You know what? There's a whole bunch. I don't know how they keep. By the way, what do you think of the president appointing his attorney general on a permanent basis? Todd.
I think that's fine. I mean, I don't think he's going to do any better than Blanche. Blanche has been pretty good so far. Blanche is another one who goes into these hearings and just eats these idiots up, so he's good for that. And he's well organized. He's probably better at Bondi and understanding how do you get to the finish line inside the Justice Department on these prosecutions. Bondi was of a grandstander, Fox News interviewer kind of attorney general. He's just kind of a nuts and bolts guy who is very aggressive and doesn't take a lot of nonsense. So I'm fine with that. I think it's good.
I was disappointed to see Tulsi leaving DNI, and people, of course, they don't want to remind anybody, but a number of folks that have helped Trump in this particular term were Democrats.
Yeah.
Who left,
including Todd Blanche, by the way, was a
yeah,
lifelong Democrat a couple of years ago.
This guy that's replacing Tulsi, though, not
well, he's
Bill
just
Pulte.
Temporary. I mean, I cringed when I saw that. I mean, Bill Pulte is a home builder. You got him over at HUD. Okay, that's fine. He can be at HUD. But putting him in as the caretaker as DNI is just, Trump wants somebody over there he can trust, and doesn't have a lot of choices. He can't give another job to Marco Rubio, obviously. But if you were going to do it, if you're going to move a current cabinet member over there, there were a lot of better choices than that. I mean, why not Doug Burgum? Why not Lee Zeldin? Why not Chris Wright, for that matter?
Yeah.
Bill Pulte is a guy who builds tract homes. I don't know why you even bother if you're going to put him over there. I just don't get it.
By the way, I am not a fan of the UFC cage on the White House because it's given somebody like Al Sharpton a chance to go on TV and claim that they're fighting for the slave master. Right, Al. Yeah.
I think it's a dumb stunt. I don't know why you're doing it. It doesn't. I mean, I just, you're obviously placating a big contributor. What's the guy's name that runs
Dana White?
Dana White.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. As long as the White House grounds are restored to pristine condition when it's all over, I don't have a big problem with it, but I'm damn sure not going to waste my time watching it.
That's generally such a well-behaved crowd too at those events.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of. At 4:45, we have a call. Good afternoon. You're on with David Blackman.
Hey, David, this is Papa B.
Hey.
Greg?
Yes, sir.
Hey. So, I've got to tell you, I agree with you on some of these appointments here. But I would say that he can't do any appointments of anybody, while the Senate is in recess, because they won't allow it to actually go into recess. What's the guy's name that's the Senate leader now?
Thune.
Thune, yeah.
John Thune.
Thune. He purposefully won't allow Senate to go into recess because that would allow Trump to make some recess appointments, and he won't allow it. It's unbelievable. The one thing about the Democrats that I've always kind of admired is that they stick together like a pack of coyotes. I mean,
yes,
you can't drive a wedge between them for any reason. One might be, guilty of the worst crimes known to man, and they'll stand up for the guy. But the Republicans, they still are divided, even though this president won.
They're the worst.
In a way that no other president, no other Republican could have won.
Papa B.
Like Trump won.
Let me ask you, did you hear my interview with Senator Tuberville earlier today?
I'm sorry, Greg, I missed that.
No, it's going to replay at the end of the show in the next hour. But you can tell from listening to him, he's just had it with D.C. and the Republican establishment. They can't get the SAVE Act done, that John Thune apparently doesn't give a rat's ass, that his approval in his home state is 28%, or that his friend Cornyn just got his butt handed to him in Texas. No, we're still not going to pass the SAVE Act. Next. I mean, it's just nauseating.
It is. In fact, they've gotten even more contrary because Cornyn got his butt handed to him. I mean, they are peeved about that one.
They're all acting out like a bunch of children.
This is what we're up against.
Yeah.
We don't have a fight. We just have a fight within our own party. There should be no argument whatsoever to just common things that we're supposed to be able to do as the party in power. But no, we can't get them done.
Well, you see, they want their old Republican Party back, the one that was comfortable being the minority party, where they never really had to take bold, courageous stands or do anything. That's the comfort zone of that type of Republican, and it's over. It is no longer that Republican Party. They better wake up to that.
Well, Thune in particular had better be careful, because he's up again in 2028. And if Trump decides to primary him, he'll get beat
easily.
I hope so. That guy, he has just been.
How about Kristi Noem for that seat?
Oh, I'd love that. Absolutely love that.
She couldn't be worse.
No, you couldn't. Yeah, exactly. But I would say even Barack Obama said he missed the old Republican Party. Yeah, the Republican Party that he got to just do whatever he wanted to.
Yeah, the Republican Party that licked his ass like a popsicle on a hot day. That Republican Party. Dead. Okay.
No, I'm glad. Good riddance to that Republican Party. I'm glad they're gone.
Whoa.
Way out the door.
Little to the left. Thank you, Papa B. Appreciate the call. We've seen a lot of people pounding the Wailing Wall. We mentioned, Thune and Cornyn and those creeps. The Democrats initially outraged that a great public servant like Debbie Wasserman Schultz is getting redistricted out of her congressional seat until that great congressional leader, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, was putting her eye on a seat currently occupied by someone of color. Oh, my.
Yeah.
And now
running in, yeah.
She's a racist now, right?
Yeah. Now they're calling her a racist for trying to get elected in a majority black district. And I don't blame them. Whatever, if they want to call themselves racist, at least they're telling the truth. I mean, there's no doubt she's a Democrat. So obviously she's racist. I mean, the whole party's racist at this point. And always has been really. So at least that's honest. But I don't know if she can win that district, honestly. Al Green tried that trick here in Texas. He got, his district was eliminated. He tried to win the Democrat nomination in a neighboring district against the incumbent in that one and got 26% of the vote or something like that. So, I'm not sure. She might want to think twice about taking that risk. Maybe it's time for her to find other endeavors to pursue.
Here's breaking news in the Idiocracy.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
I don't know how they figured it out, but Victoria's Secret stock has surged now that they've made a commitment to bring sexy back.
Gee, what a surprise.
After going woke and putting guys in lingerie and
it was just
unattractive
for a
females.
couple of years. Yeah, just crazy. Insane.
And isn't it
same thing
amazing?
with the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue?
Yeah.
You've seen all these clips now of all these beautiful women models going down the runway here in recent days. 5 years ago, they were putting trans and obese people in these swimsuits and putting them on the cover and not selling any copies and almost went bankrupt. And so, they finally jumped to their senses, I guess. Victoria's Secret almost completely destroyed their brand.
Yes.
In 2020.
To prove what? Look at us. We're so woke. George Floyd, perhaps maybe the most consequential human being of this century so far in the damage done in the never-ending effort to show you how racist we aren't.
Yeah.
And all the other groups that may or may not be offended.
What the other thing that's fallen apart for the woke crowd is Pride Month.
Yes.
5 years ago, every corporation in America, had their own Pride celebrations and their own Pride logos, their rainbow covered logos and all that nonsense on social media. And now none of them are doing it.
Have you seen the great Rob Schneider clip? He does a breakdown. It's easy to find. I can't play it on the air because it's a little edgy.
Yeah.
But he basically goes through this. Okay, so you become president of the country, you get a day. You got to share it with all the other presidents, but you get a day, whether you're Abe Lincoln, George Washington, or Calvin Coolidge or whatever. If you die for your country, you get a holiday, 1 day. And then he makes a very suggestive reference. He said, but if you did that, you get a whole month.
You get a whole month, yeah.
Yeah. And I working in Florida for all those years, I knew a whole lot of gay people. And all they were really interested in was we just want to live our lives and be left alone and not physically attacked or whatever. The gay people I knew that were on the air in South Florida made it a point. No, I'm not going to be in your feathered boa parade down Las Olas Boulevard. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm seeking. I don't need that level of attention. Stop doing that. You're really making it hard for those of us who just want to live the most normal life possible. And yeah, this is absolutely, I mean, the flag, the pride flag and all that seems to be diminishing.
Well, there's a backlash against all that nonsense. I mean, they should have all the equal rights everybody has to live their lives. Okay. It's great. Everyone should have that ability.
Yes.
We don't give a damn of what you're doing in your bed.
Really?
Okay.
But
we just don't need to see it out on the streets, just like we don't need to see a heterosexual sex show out on the streets.
Exactly.
People get thrown in prison for doing that, and they should.
Before we get to our minute or two on baseball, so much talk about red states versus blue states hemorrhaging people. And it's not just California is going to Texas, New York going to Florida. South Carolina per capita is the fastest growing southern state. Tennessee is growing.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of states with a lot of blue voters, but no income base to tax to pay for all the stupid crap they want.
Yeah. Samsung just moved from New Jersey to Texas. So New Jersey lost multi-billions of dollars in revenues, because of their idiotic laws, just like California's done in recent years.
And how
I
about
don't
the
know what it will
individual?
take for them to learn.
And when you're not paying taxes out every orifice, you get to keep more of your own money. So individual incomes are also growing disproportionately, going up in red states and down in the blue ones. And they don't seem to care.
No, because Democrats are Marxists now. That's a communist party, and they just they're happy to burn your country down and rule over the ashes as long as they're the ones ruling. So they don't care. They don't want wealthy people in their state because they know wealthy people tend to vote for Republicans. So they're more than happy to run them out of their states and have no tax base and live in squalor and have, govern a population that's dependent on the government. That's how they maintain power. That's how Marxists behave. It's what they do. And so, and they steal elections all over the world, just like they're doing in Los Angeles. And it's a Marxist party. We all need to stop pretending that this is the same political party we boomers grew up with.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a different party. I mean, it's still a racist party, but it's a bunch of racist Marxists instead of a bunch of racist liberals.
And there is a difference. We have a call. Good afternoon. Who's this?
Hey, Greg, John Major.
Hi.
I've got a real quick off-topic rant. If you got time for it, or you want to stay on top?
Well, I kind of got to stay on point here. What did you want to talk about?
Okay, so really quickly, WSFA, I think her name is Ellis, and it has to do, this particular topic has to do with a little water system a little bit north of you that deals with Elmore County and Autauga County. It's Marbury Water System. And the only thing I'd like to say about it, for some of your listeners that this applies, about half of what is in print is incorrect. There was a meeting, they got the date wrong, blah, blah, blah. If you happen to be a Marbury customer, please talk to Marbury Water and find out what's going on. And then just for the rest of the listeners who happen to listen to sorry about that, WSFA, just because it's in print, it doesn't mean it's right.
Oh,
So
well,
I'll
especially
let you go
if
with
it's
that.
on WSFA. I appreciate the call. We got the message out there. And I quote the great Lauren Boebert, who a month or two ago said, "Why is everybody here so horny?" Which I thought was probably the most honest thing I've heard on Capitol Hill all year.
Yeah.
So your team seems to be doing quite well.
Yeah.
But the Yankees, the $300 million Yankees, can't beat the freaking $80 million Cleveland Indians.
Well, but the Yankees
Can't
have
hit.
had a good run in recent weeks. They're almost in first place. They hadn't quite gotten there yet, but they were like 6 games out at one point.
I think overall, and the Yankees have had some really darn good pitching. Garrett Cole's back.
Holy cow.
But look at the Atlanta Braves. At the beginning of the year, a lot of people didn't even think they'd make the playoffs because their pitching staff was injured and in chaos. Austin Riley, their big sign at third base, is playing lousy baseball this year, but they're dominating.
They are. Yeah. They're just killing it, man. Yeah. They're
Good
tough.
example.
They're double tough. But the Yankees, I think, are fine. They're going to win that division. I look at two things in the standings. I look at the expected record.
Yes.
Which, the Yankees are like 12 games above 500, but their expected record is like 18 games above 500. And then their run differential. The Yankees are first in the American League in run differential. The Dodgers are first in the National League. And I think those two measures are the real measures of the real strength of these teams. And I just think the Yankees are really the best team in the American League, and it isn't very close. The Braves, Brewers, and Dodgers are the best in the National League, and it's pretty close.
Boy, the wheels have come off the Cubs. They had 2 10-game winning streaks earlier this year, and now, wow.
Man. I didn't think they were ever going to win a game there for a little bit. But yeah,
It was looking pretty bleak. Well, David, I should have checked my run differential. This is why we have you on, because I'm at the end of it, I'm going to be a smarter person, and so is everybody listening. Thank you so much for the time, and have a great weekend. Again, subscribe at David Blackman, one word, davidblackman.substack.com. And for the latest in energy news, and there's been a lot of thirst for that, Blackman at substack.com. And you're good for Monday?
absolutely. See you then. Y'all have a great weekend.
One last thing. They have now counted 59% of the vote in California. So they're really steamrolling through all those
really
ballots.
going fast now. All right.
Thank you, David.
See you.
What a guy. Okay. Are you in the mood for some barbecue? I'm asking for a friend, my friends at Smoky Notes. We had a listener gathering there last week, and everybody loved the food. It is on the boulevard where the It'll Do Tavern used to be, near Lagoon Park, on the west side of Northeastern Boulevard. And what a menu they have. I tried the brisket melt. It was a debate. It was between that and the smash burger. Next time, it'll be the smash burger, and we are going to have another gathering there. The Monte Cristo, this is from sandwiches and things that come with sides. Turkey, brisket, smoked wings with twists, tenders with twists, and a great kids menu, including tenders, grilled cheese. I wonder if they let me order off because today is National Cheese Day. That would be a great way to celebrate. They do wraps and loaded potatoes. The sides not only include the potato twists and coleslaw. I love the green beans. They're excellent. Baked beans are awesome. Mac and cheese with an Alfredo touch that is really sensational. But I love the cabbage. Takes me back to my bohemian roots with a little spice and some Conecuh sausage in it. It is awesome. Examine the sauces and dressings. The options there are plentiful. And the boudin balls, that would be the other thing. If you've never tried those, try them. They're really, really good. And they go great with any number of the dipping sauces. Did a lot of experimenting. Every cut starts with smoke. Smoky Notes Tavern. Bar, pool tables, nice place. Redone the interior. And we hope you'll stop by. And please mention that you heard about him here on News Talk. All right, it's a couple of minutes past 5 o'clock. Up next, Brett McDonald. Tell us why the market had such a big freaking day.
Well, a rash of accidents early. Right now, we've got busy building traffic all over the area. We did have one accident, Mulberry Street near I-85. Please use caution there. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic flow. Keep it here. We'll keep you updated. High school students, Trenton State Community College Dual Enrollment Program lets you earn college credit while you're still in high school. Take the first step towards your college journey. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up with Jay Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Ken Lorman. A pretty good day on Wall Street today. The market rallying after falling oil prices and yields in the bond market eased the pressure on U.S. stocks. We'll have the numbers for you in a moment. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is highlighting the impact of President Trump's tax policies on American workers, families, and retirees.
This tax day under President Trump, we celebrated how much more money hardworking Americans kept, not how much the government took. Over 62 million tax returns claimed at least one of President Trump's signature new tax cuts. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, deductibility of American car interest loans, and an enhanced deduction for low and middle income seniors.
On Wall Street, the Dow gained 875, the S&P plus 31, the Nasdaq was down 23 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Ken Lorman.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. they wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. That changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
It's June 4th, the greatest day ever. On the 4th of June, 1919, Congress passed the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Women could now count themselves among the 42.5% of Americans who don't bother to vote at all. Have a great June 4th, the greatest day ever.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Big day on Wall Street today. Brett McDonald with the details coming up after.
With SRN News, I'm Ken Lormand in Washington. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton has agreed to plead guilty to a single count of retaining classified information under a deal with the Justice Department that could allow him to avoid prison time. Senate Republicans have cleared a first hurdle as they try to pass legislation to fund President Trump's immigration enforcement agencies. They rejected a Democrat effort to permanently block Mr. Trump from creating a nearly $1.8 billion settlement fund for victims of lawfare during the Biden administration. Republicans still face a gauntlet of Democratic amendments before the bill can advance. On Wall Street, mixed day, but a good day overall. Dow gained 875 points, S&P up 31. This is SRN News.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as
Cheese Day!
Love mozzarella brie and Gouda, shove manchego into my mouth. Buy provolone by the pound, whether from goats or sheep or cows. A cheeseaholic and I'm proud. Fontina, feta, Swiss, and cheddar. Asiago, Monterey Jack, Sargento, Velveeta, and Kraft. Grilled cheese sandwich or rolled in a wrap. Ate so much that now I'm kind of fat. Cheese day, cheese day, cheese day, cheese day, cheese day, cheese day, cheese day. Woo! I love cheese.
It is cheese day, and again, you might want to head over to Smoky Notes because they've got it in great abundance, not only sandwiches, but in so many menu items. Just a suggestion, a fun way to celebrate National Cheese Day, or today is Hug Your Cat Day at your own risk. I've received this clip from a number of people, most recently from David Drees. It's very quick. It's Ronald Reagan. But this explains and shows you why he belongs on the $250 bill. I mean, he really does deserve to be on the money since he helped so many of us make it when he was president. Are we going to have this BS again with Facebook audio? I'm stubborn about this. Come on. We'll eventually get it. I'll play it later because I really don't feel like throwing this computer into the parking lot at the moment. I'm a little actually tired. So after Uncle Chi-Chi's shirtless weather, we'll play this great Reagan clip for you.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, get help. A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror, and that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Boy, we've been enjoying some great weather, and we know it's not going to last, but tonight will be very pleasant, mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 60. Another fairly comfortable day tomorrow on Friday with lots of sunshine, high temperature in the middle 80s, and tolerable humidity. Then over the weekend, we get back to business as usual as the humidity starts to come back, and highs in the upper 80s and spotty scattered showers and thunderstorms at random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Okay, I'm going to try again from 1987. Ronald Reagan, so quick on his feet, even at the end of his presidency. Is this going to play, or am I just going to be wasting my time here? Let me hit the reboot button here. I'm going to make this. This is going to play whether.
Reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city. America missed me.
That was Reagan doing a speech. There was a balloon pop nearby, and he just stopped for a second and said, "Missed me."
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city.
Let me ask Brant McDonald.
America
Brant,
missed me.
welcome.
Hey, Greg.
How about you?
I'm doing well.
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city.
I was going to ask you.
America missed
heard
me.
this talk about the $250 bill. I think it's cool, but I think Ronald Reagan's picture
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city. America missed me.
Seems a little too
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city. America missed me.
again, we're doing the seesaw action with especially Ron.
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city. America missed me. We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city. America missed me.
Who knows what's going to happen, man? I mean, it's really anybody's guess other than the fact,
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city.
it appears to me
America
that
missed
the
me.
entire country is falling apart, and it's beginning to pick up momentum. And I suspect that level of pain that we're all experiencing in that
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city.
And you'll see something get
America
done.
missed me.
In the meantime, we continue to follow macroeconomic data here in the U.S. I've been saying all week that this is a week for
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this
rewind
city.
the clock and look at Tuesday.
America
the job
missed me.
numbers were good. The job openings in professional services. Now, these are high-end jobs.
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this
That
city.
number was higher than expected.
America missed
and
me.
Remember, those are private sector payroll numbers. And then tomorrow morning, we do get the jobs numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
We're reminded of the
And,
many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city.
If you look at the polling of all the
missed me.
economists across the country, the consensus number is 80,000 new jobs. Put that in perspective for you over the last
We're
couple
reminded of the
months,
many
we've been
traditions of
averaging well
openness
over
and democracy that have
100,000
marked the history of this city.
A lot of this
America
has to do
missed
with
me.
weather, seasonal factors that get baked into these month-to-month numbers. If
We're reminded
anything,
of the
I
many
think
traditions of
tomorrow-
openness and
I've read
democracy
where
that
some
have marked the
economists,
history
even
of this
Goldman Sachs
city.
came out with notes this afternoon
America
that
missed me.
they thought that the numbers would be a little bit less than that. I don't know. I'm suspecting it could be a little bit more, actually.
We're reminded of the many traditions
I'm
of
in a-
openness and
an odd
democracy that
camp,
have marked the history of this
with
city.
respect to that, but
America
that's just
missed me.
us, and that's sort of what we see. And I think the resulting action that I suspect we might see in the bond market.
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city.
And that could be a little tough for the market.
America missed me.
The other thing, when you look at the action again today in the market, and this market has really begun to narrow.
We're reminded of the
more,
many
and the
traditions
pace
of openness
that
and
has picked
democracy
up
that have
speed.
marked
In
the
other words,
history of this
more and
city.
more money going in, is being
America missed
concentrated
me.
into just a handful of companies, which is quite different than what we saw over the last many months, where we saw healthy
We're reminded of the
broadening
many
out in
traditions
the
of
market.
openness and democracy that have marked the
So
history
here
of
we
this
sit
city.
at these all-time record
America
levels,
missed
and
me.
really what pushed us up over the last 10% has truly been this AI credit, and that's just
We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city.
Tomorrow, next week is a big week because we've got this SpaceX IPO, which is by far and away going to be the biggest news. It'll immediately jump to the top headline, I would think, right there with all this stuff going on in Iran, simply because this is going to shatter. It's not even going to be close. It will shatter the old records for the largest IPO in history. The S&P 500 index, if you look at Standard & Poor's, they have greased the tracks, and they have relaxed all the rules that will allow SpaceX to become a component of the S&P 500 rather quickly. And so what will end up happening is you'll see quite a bit of volatility in the index, I would think, where money is being forced to leave a lot of the leading companies in the S&P and be redirected into SpaceX because it will be a massive addition to the index. I mean, it's going to be bigger than Microsoft. Okay, it's probably going to be somewhere around between the second and the fourth largest company in the S&P, depending upon the health of this IPO and how well it goes. So we'll see how all that impacts things. The further, Greg, as well, on June the 16th and 17th, the Federal Reserve is going to start its FOMC meeting, that's Federal Open Market Committee meeting, to make a decision on interest rates. And remember, we have a new Fed chair now, Kevin Warsh, who will be leading that. And so Wall Street's going to begin to gear up for any commentary that he might have with respect to monetary policy. And it'll be a big deal because you remember Trump really wanted lower interest rates, and Warsh has promised to remake the Fed. And so when he comes and does his press conference on that Wednesday, I'm sure he's going to have a ton of questions. And that will be a market-moving event. Over the next 10 days, we've got, as I said, we got jobs tomorrow. We're always watching Iran. We've got the SpaceX IPO, and we have the Federal Reserve meeting. Those are four big things that are going to be market-moving, so a lot to report on in the coming days for sure.
Brent, not just on the money news, but on the Iranian situation, you really gave us some great insights there on what's going on. And maybe this is what Trump has been waiting for the place to collapse. And finally, we got to do something. So.
Well, he's even said that, he says, look, I have all the time in the world. And I think it was probably the right move to make politically. I mean, we've talked about this before. The country doesn't want to see, 25,000, 50,000 troops go into Iran.
No.
And so right now he's got them cut off. We have the naval blockade. They can't get oil out of the country. It's wrecking their infrastructure of how they produce oil, how they store the oil, and how they get it out of the country. So they have no revenues basically coming in. As I said the other day, the value of their currency has literally collapsed. They have rampant inflation, and we're not talking about inflation like 8 or 9%. We're talking about inflation that's 50 to 100% on a month-to-month basis. I mean, this is unsustainable. We've seen their president resign. The military is trying to take over. They don't really have much left in terms of military assets, other than the remnants of these missiles and ballistic missiles. And Trump's just going to wait them out, and I would expect at some point there will be a collapse that will take place in that country. The fear that I have, though, is that whenever that does happen, someone's got to step in and take over that country and try to lead them out of this mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder, how involved the United States is going to be in that process.
Right.
And certainly from a military perspective, So we'll all be watching together and be reporting on it as we go through the rest of this month, I'm sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, my contribution to the money news of the day is how nice it was to see the racetrack gas station at the end of Carmichael Road having regular unleaded at $3.47 a gallon after it was over $4 2 weeks ago. So I like that. Brent, thank you for your time. As always, if there's big news tomorrow morning, 8:30, we'll appreciate a call.
All right, you got it, buddy. Y'all have a great night.
You too.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
This morning, we had a chance to spend 15 minutes with Senator Tommy Tuberville. I think you're going to love the passion and enthusiasm and the things he's already lining up, assuming that everything goes well. He ends up being our next governor. Some of the plans he has to get rid of fraud, waste, and perhaps some of the taxes that we're still paying. Here's a call at random at 525. Who's this?
Random. Oh, Crawdad, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Random. I was listening earlier while I was picking up groceries, and I heard you talking about a nice restaurant with this wonderful menu that you were talking about. I want to know, do you repeat about that? I want to check them out.
Smoky Notes is the name of it.
You talked about them before, yes. Okay, Smoky Notes. Yes. I need to visit the place. I might take friends or something. How about that?
I think that's a great idea. They'll love the food. It's very reasonably priced. They'll appreciate your the quality that you get for the price you pay. Absolutely.
You know, that's another reason I listen to your radio station. Not only do I learn all kind of stuff, you nice folks allow me to talk to you. We share information. I find out where to go eat good. I find good vendors, good business, entertainment. I think this is the best radio station I've ever listened to.
I am so flattered, Crawdad, because I know you've been around the block with a few stations, so to have that status with you is a great compliment.
My friend, long time ago, I don't even know if he's still around now, but over in Atlanta, and now I've already forgotten everything what I was going to say. But yes, you know what I'm talking about. I can't even think anymore, Greg, but yes, amen. You guys are the best.
All right, you take care, my friend. That was... Got news after traffic, 527.
Well, we have several minor accidents around Montgomery. These aren't really affecting traffic at all. Interstates are busy. Boulevards are busy. Please be safe out there. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic flow and building. We'll update you when accidents happen. Haynes Ambulance, there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life or death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A suspect is under arrest in connection to a deadly double shooting in Tallahassee. 31-year-old Jamario Butler was arrested by an MPD SWAT team Wednesday and turned over to Tallahassee investigators. Butler is accused of killing 33-year-old Rondarius Hooks and injuring another victim Saturday night. A motive for the shooting has not yet been disclosed. An attorney representing Councilwoman Marsha Johnson issued a statement Wednesday refuting reports that she does not live in the district she represents. Johnson has represented District 3 since 2021. She bought a house in District 7 2 years ago using a VA loan which requires the purchaser to live in the residence. Johnson did not attend a Tuesday night city council meeting. Millbrook police arrested a man for solicitation of a child on Wednesday. The department received a complaint that a 16-year-old boy had been solicited by an adult male for pictures. A search warrant was executed at the home of 65-year-old David Horn, where detectives found probable cause to make an arrest. Horn is being held in the Elmore County Jail without bond. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet just got more amazing. To help our customers during these tough economic times, in June, Pizza Perfect has reduced the price of our buffet to just $10. That's pizza, as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink. Everything, only $10. Pizza Perfect Buffet. Available Monday through Saturday for lunch And for dinner Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, pick up or delivery. Also in June, get $5 off any large pizza at Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook, where the buffet is only $10 all month long.
Democrats invited an illegal invasion of our borders and ballot boxes. That's their plan to stop Trump. Block the Save America Act requiring citizenship to vote. And Rhino Jared Hudson, he stands with them, working against President Trump. Hudson backs a Senate rule letting Democrats block the Save America Act, paving the way for illegals diluting our elections, drowning out Alabama voices. It's no wonder why Hudson's already caving to open-border Trump-hating Democrats. They're bankrolling his campaign. Hudson took over $32,000 from the same liberals who bankrolled Kamala Harris. Worse, Biden-Harris donors are funding a super PAC that spent $600,000 propping up Jared Hudson. Bought by Democrats, siding with Democrats. Alabama doesn't need a rhino rookie senator betraying President Trump, like Jared Hudson. Alabama Freedom Fund is responsible for the content of this ad, paid for by Alabama Freedom Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AlabamaFreedomFund.com.
It's JT. Here are some great real estate listings and opportunities. How about a single-family rental in the Forest Hills area of Montgomery? 3-bedroom, 2-bath with updates, roof, AC, and water heater, all recent. This home currently has a tenant paying $1,400 per month and is for sale at $130K. An excellent investment with low maintenance and great cash flow. I've got a great flip opportunity right now on Lake Martin, a 3,100 square foot home needing some cosmetic updates, valued at $1.1 million, being sold as is for $700K. That's a lot of room to build instant equity and make a great profit or hold for future appreciation. I work with many investors looking for flips, multifamily properties, and more, utilizing different investment strategies. Real estate is one of the best wealth building and tax saving investments available. Call me, JT, Associate Broker at Exit Garth Realty, 334-380-1950, or visit jtsellsbama.com.
What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Poarch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Poarch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at PoarchCreekIndians.org.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is not headline news. Today is National Hug Your Cat Day. And by sheer coincidence, tomorrow is National Change Your Bandages Day. Beef prices are at record highs. Just what vegans need. More reason to be smug. Blue Origin says it will fly another rocket before the end of the year. Or possibly fly in a million different directions. And the latest diet trend is only eating food mentioned in the Bible. You can now buy them exclusively at the high-end grocery store, Holy Foods. This is not headline news.
And we have a call at 5:33. Good afternoon. Who's this?
Hi, this is Phil. How are you?
All right, Phil. What's up?
You've had Coach Tuberville on. It'll be 3 times by the end of the show. When do you plan to have Doug Jones on?
I haven't been contacted by Doug Jones' people.
But you'll give him equal time?
If he wants it.
I'm sure he does.
Well, I don't know if you're speaking on his behalf, but tell his people to give us a call.
I will. I'm sure he wants to take advantage of it.
I'm sure our audience will be very interested in what he has to say.
They should be. He's got the background for the job.
Definitely. It's 5:34. I was having a good day until I heard that. And yeah, we're going to have him on one more time. Senator, our current sitting Senator, Tuberville, talking to the community. It's not a campaign ad. We'll check with the lawyers on that, just to be sure. At 26 minutes before the top of the hour. So to get to that, we got to do traffic, get the forecast on. and in 14 minutes of time.
Well, we have a minor accident in Prattville, 1900 block Cobbs Ford Road in front of American Family Care. Please use caution there. In Montgomery, a couple of minor accidents here and there, nothing affecting traffic flow, and we're busy. Interstates, boulevards loaded up, but no real issues. Folks are getting where they need to be. We'll keep you updated. Upgrade your home with Davis Door and Sash, your trusted source for replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on material when you mention this ad. Visit DavisStoreandSashAlabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
For many homeowners, there's untapped reserves hiding in plain sight. It's not in the savings account. It's not in the stock market. It's right under your roof. Now more than ever, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, and that equity belongs to you. It can be used to consolidate high-interest credit card debt, to pay expensive school tuition, to cover medical expenses, to invest in renovations, you name it, because that money is yours. This isn't about taking on unnecessary debt. It's about using an asset you already own to improve your financial position and your quality of life. The key is understanding your options and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Dinner doesn't have to be heavy to be satisfying. The $15.99 small plates at Epicure and Jack's Tavern come with bottomless sides. Yes, bottomless. Perfect portions, scratch-made flavors, and the flexibility to dine exactly how you want. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Thoughtful plates, generous hospitality. You'll taste the difference.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Boy, we've been enjoying some great weather, and we know it's not going to last, but tonight will be very pleasant, mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 60. Another fairly comfortable day tomorrow on Friday with lots of sunshine, high temperature in the middle 80s, and tolerable humidity. Then over the weekend, we get back to business as usual as the humidity starts to come back, with highs in the upper 80s and spotty scattered showers and thunderstorms at random in the afternoon and evening hours. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Today is Hug Your Cat Day. But don't just hug your cat.
Let Mr. Whiskers know you appreciate all he does. Like glare at you from on top of a bookshelf, fillet your new leather couch, spray your laundry, push the door open when you're on the toilet, attack the TV when he sees race cars, lay a dead rodent at your feet, wake you up at 3 a.m. with the zoomies, kill your fish, and of course, randomly disappear for weeks at a time. Your cat. A friend for life. Okay, most of the time.
Pussycat. It is 5:40 on Newstalk 93.1 FM. Some encores from earlier in the show today. And we will replay the entirety of our interview with Senator Tuberville in about 5 minutes. Scott Bessent, again, in front of, I want to make sure I get the name right, Representative Chu, who doesn't know who was president in World War I. But there she is in all her great libtarius, questioning Bessent, and she can't answer. Cannot answer this question. This is why you have no chance, Democrats, because you have people like this who's bursting at the seams, swimming in her own hate, asking a stupid question like that. Really, yeah. Trump doesn't care. Bessent doesn't care. The word I cannot use. God. Wow, I need a bath after listening to that voice of hers. Holy man. Woodrow Wilson, yeah, were we attacked directly by Germany in that war? No. Actually, we were led into that war by J.P. Morgan and the big banks. Anyway, Scott Bessent's a superstar. This will be our final traffic at 5:40.
Well, we have a minor accident in Prattville, 1900 block Cubs Ford Road in front of American Family Care. Please use caution there. In Montgomery, a couple of minor accidents here and there, nothing affecting traffic flow. And we're busy. Interstates, boulevards loaded up, but no real issues. Folks are getting where they need to be. We'll keep you updated. Upgrade your home with Davis Door and Sash, your trusted source for replacement windows and doors. Save 10% on material when you mention this ad. Visit DavisStoreandSashAlabama.com. Call 334-288-6010. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Dewan Walker has been an Alabama Power customer since 1999.
We're being squeezed on every side. We hear about Alabama Power freezing their rates. That's the best news we can get. Alabama Power rate freeze will provide real relief for Alabama working families. Alabama Power is protecting their customers by making data centers pay their full costs. It makes me feel at peace. Alabama Power is really stepping up and doing what's right for customers.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Once again, our interview with Senator Tommy Tuberville from The Morning Show. All right, we welcome Senator Tommy Tuberville. How you doing, Coach?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good, trying to get ready for this long 14, 15-hour voting session we have today to try to fund DHS. The Democrats decided they don't like law enforcement, so
yeah,
we'll do it ourselves.
You know what? And every day I see another story somewhere. How many people have to be killed before we get rid of the people that are killing them who don't belong here? They would still be alive if ICE was allowed to do their job. Nothing infuriates me more than that. That is just outrageous.
Killed, raped, robbed. I mean, it's a disaster, and the Democrats put up with it, Greg. It's just unfortunate. That's what they want this country to turn into, a third world country, and I'll be damned if we're going to let it happen.
And we appreciate that. Senator, first of all, congratulations on that narrow victory in the primary a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
How do you expect the Democrats to attack you moving forward? With anything of substance or just the usual?
Well, just the usual. They have no plan, Greg. They have nothing to go by. They're for open borders, no law enforcement, higher taxes, transgenders in sports. They're for nothing that this country was made of. But what are they going to come after me at? I'm a racist.
Oh,
that's what. Yeah, you forgot that, didn't you?
Jeez,
that's
slipped
what
my
they fall
mind.
back on.
You know what?
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to that anymore. They're just not. It doesn't work. By the way,
So, Senator, we knew that night about your numbers.
Yes.
But there was an election over in California a couple of days ago. Do you know what the percentage of votes that have been counted is? It's like 58% right now.
Yeah, 2 days, 58% of the votes counted in California. They're trying to steal another one out there, aren't they?
Oh, they will steal it. I mean, somebody asked me yesterday, said, man, wasn't it great that this Stephen Platt was 4 points within being ahead of this communist Karen Bass? Said, wait a minute, they got 29 more days to count votes. There's no way he's going to win this or even get close. They'll have the number 3 lady will move in front of him, and he won't even make the runoff. It's a total disaster.
Yeah,
and California is a prime example, Greg.
Yes.
Prime example of how they want this country run.
Let me take that to the SAVE Act. Your colleague, John Thune, who has 28% approval in his home state. Did he learn anything from the trouncing that John Cornyn got in Texas? Why can't they bring themselves to pass the SAVE Act?
Well, first of all, John Thune gave John Cornyn, $40-50 million, hard-earned, raised money for some reason. Never get involved in a primary. Okay, I don't care if you're an incumbent. Why would you do that? And number 2 is the SAVE Act is dead on arrival because we have at least five Republican rhino senators that hate Donald Trump. They hate him. And they might as well be Democrats because they don't vote with us for anything. And we're very concerned. I'm going to be honest with you. We have to have 51 votes today just from Republicans to get this DHS funding passed. I got concerns. I've got concerns that we'll have a tough time getting 50 votes to pass this with just Republicans. That's how stupid this place is.
I feel your pain and frustration, sir. You know, you get a difficult time from some of the media because you're not a career politician like them. Same thing with Spencer Pratt and Hilton and others. They don't want them to win. They want the political class to prevail forever. And I have to tell you, first of all, tell me a little bit about the Help Committee and what you're doing to crack down on student aid fraud.
Oh, my God. Hey, we got fraud in healthcare. We got fraud in and the VA, we've got fraud in all over the country. We lose $1 trillion. 25% of the money that American taxpayers send up here is stolen. Okay?
Yes.
It's ridiculous. And nobody raises an eyebrow about it. And so there's as much money stolen in education fraud as any of these. You know, Pell Grants, loans that these kids sign up for, they never intend to pay them back. Money going to illegals. I mean, it's just one thing after another. And again, let's do something about it. And so that's what we're trying to do. And thank goodness for President Trump, because I'm telling you, if he hadn't got elected, this fraud would still be rampant, and it is bad. But at least we're trying to catch it. Doge, J.D. Vance is on top of it. We're trying to work through the educational realm of trying to cut a lot of it out. We did cut some out in the big, beautiful bill, but the American taxpayers, they deserve much better than what's going on up here. And it's as much fault of some of the Republicans than it is the Democrats.
Yes. Senator, many people along that very line, I was going to ask you to put a number on how much of our tax money is wasted every year. You said $1 trillion, and it may even be higher than that for all we know. But fellows like Tom Moore and Mark Cumby, we've asked our listeners to ask you questions this morning, and they're very focused on you becoming governor and bringing accountability not only to the state of Alabama, but to the city of Montgomery in particular. And ideas like eliminating can we follow Florida's lead? Consider eliminating the state sales tax or bringing down taxes in general, property taxes and things like that. Please let us know what you think about that.
Oh, 100%. The American taxpayers need a break. If we've got room to have this much fraud in the country, we've got that much room to drop down taxes and state taxes and federal taxes. And so I'm all on board with that. We're working at least 3 or 4 hours a day putting together a plan for all that when we become governor and take over in January next year. We're not just sitting around twiddling our thumbs and talking about racism. We're actually looking at infrastructure, education, law enforcement, Montgomery, law enforcement, clean your streets up, all the things that we need to do to build and grow the state of Alabama. You have to have a plan, and we're putting that plan together. Ask this goofball on this socialist communist on the Democratic supposedly side of what his plan is. Oh, it's racism. Okay, good. Good. Where we go from there?
You know what was racist? The Voting Act law that was abused by Democrats for the last 50 years to guarantee certain election results. The Supreme Court has tossed that now. And are the Republicans going to be able to capitalize on that? Because even with all the angst over the war in Iran and gas prices, they're coming down quickly. Can they keep the majorities? Because it just terrifies me to think what the Democrats will be up to if they get a majority on either side.
Oh, it's scary. It really is scary. We saw it for 4 years under Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. They stole the country blind, folks. They stole you blind. And the Democrats are so stupid on the other side. The people voting for these people can't understand it. What's happened to our country? Because you have people running the country that are for themselves and not for the country. And so we have to make sure that we do the right things, get the right people in place. We will win the House and the Senate next year. This gerrymandering that they did all over the country was insane. We should have a huge majority. There's a lot more Republicans in this country, and if everybody voted, you wouldn't hear about a Democrat for a long, long time. We got to get people out to vote, folks. You got to take it for what it is. You vote people that are going to try to help this country and help this state. Don't sit back at home and say, well, my vote doesn't count. It does count.
Absolutely does. And we need that enthusiasm out there. I see President Trump's approval numbers are down right now. I think a lot of that is just people reacting to higher gas prices and the stresses of that. What's going to happen in Iran? What are you hearing on the inside there?
Yeah, well, it's a hard job. 47 years, they have basically attacked our country from terrorist organizations all over the world.
Yeah.
President Trump's doing the right thing. He's trying to make our world safe. He's not getting any help out of these communist socialists in Europe now. They've gone the other way, the direction of the so-called Democratic Party. President Trump's got a hard job, but I'm going to tell you what, he's exactly what we need. He's not going to take a bad deal. You know, I don't think we can ever get a regime change, so to speak, because these people are crooks, they're thieves, you know, and they have a knife to the throat of the Iranian people over there. But at the end of the day, we have got to make sure they don't get a dirty bomb or a nuclear bomb, because they are stupid and crazy enough to use it. They hate people that are Christians, and they're going to come after us with everything they've got if we don't get rid of this nuclear waste that they have right now in terms of being able to make a bomb.
Yes, and Canada's been kicked down the road for half a century now.
Oh my God!
One of our listeners, Rebecca, wants to know if elected governor, would you work with Retirement Systems of Alabama to protect the retirement security of Alabama teachers, state employees, law enforcement, and first responders?
Oh, sure would. I'm in that retirement system. So
it's been going on for years, and I hope that when you're running the state, we're going to miss you in D.C., but that there will continue to be serious efforts to trim the fat. $1 trillion a year wasted.
Well, not just federal, also state. You know, accountants are coming. You know, when I come in there, I'm gonna make sure that I know where the money has been going for the last 25 years. Because you got to evaluate everything you're doing. You don't just go in there and just start spending money.
Right.
Okay, what did we spend here? What did we spend it on? Where'd it go? Was it successful? I mean, you don't just start and go forward. You go backwards, and you find out what worked, what didn't work, and what it's going to take to help the people of the state of Alabama. It's called a plan, organization. Ask the Democrat, and they ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
Senator, last few seconds here, please. Anything that you wanted to add or tell our listeners in advance of Election Day?
Well, you know, the big thing is we just talked about a plan. It takes good people. We're going to hire a lot of people. But we'll have that plan put together long before even we're elected in November. Again, we started on it 6, 7, 8 months ago. We're talking to people everywhere. We're trying to get advice. I'm talking to governors all over the country, what works, what doesn't work. Talking to DeSantis, talking to the Mississippi governor, Tennessee governor, Bill Lee, governor from Texas. You don't do it on your own. A coach is somebody that runs an offense and defense that if they see a player